Hello everybody, Jenny here, home educating mum to 6, and welcome to my channel. Yes, you can home educate. It's silly o'clock here tonight, but finally my older ones have gone to bed and I can make a video. In this video, I'm going to talk to you about ChatGPT, the language, artificial intelligence that everybody's talking about. I'm sure you must have at least heard about it in the news or social media. It is an artificial intelligence program that is trained on huge amounts of data on the internet, and it's an amazing piece of technology. If you've had a chance to play around with it and ask it questions, you can use it to help you with home educating in making plans, timetables, comprehension questions for pieces of literature. It seems that the sky's the limit, and it only is limited to the questions that you ask it. I had a little play around with it, even asking it to plan a year of mathematics for a certain age group, and drilled down into lesson plans for certain weeks for certain subjects, and it was able to do that. It was able to give me answer keys so that I could mark these things. So quite an amazing piece of technology. I don't think I would be using it to replace the traditional maths materials, but I was quite impressed personally with how it was able to timetable, and particularly language activities to help the children delve deeper into the books that we're reading at the moment. So in this video, we're going to go into the program and have a little look at how I've used it to make some comprehension questions, find some Charlotte Mason style copy work, and some activities to help the children study the Hobbit and get a little bit more out of reading the Hobbit, which is what we're doing at the moment. We're also going to use it to figure out a timetable to study the Hobbit over a period of 12 weeks. And just even those two little activities might help you to have a taste of how you can use ChatGPT to help you in your homeschooling plans. Now, I am the first to be skeptical about these new things. I don't want it particularly to replace all the traditional forms of education that we're already using, but I do think that it's an amazing piece of technology from what I've seen, and it can be a useful tool or a useful weapon in your arsenal of how to tackle home educating, and anything that makes life that little bit easier when we're juggling so many things in the home is something worth looking into. So let's dive right in and take a look at ChatGPT. Right, so this is the front page to the ChatGPT website. I'm using the iPhone version or the phone version just because it's easier to see in this format. But obviously you can use a desktop version, the computer version, and it's the same. I haven't seen any difference. It's just explaining how it is a model which interacts in a conversational way. And then you click into Try ChatGPT and you get to this page that again explains that you can chat to it. It provides follow-up corrections, it remembers what you say in the conversation, and it can decline inappropriate requests. It has limitations. It occasionally can generate incorrect information, and normally you can, I haven't seen it do that, but I guess if something seems amiss, you can always cross-reference on the internet, can't you? It also has limited knowledge of world events after 2021. So this is the question I wanted to ask in order to demonstrate its capabilities. Can you give me workbook-style comprehension questions for the first 5 chapters of The Hobbit? Can you make these suitable for homeschooling students aged 9 and 12? Could you also include a paragraph length of Charlotte Mason style copywork and a couple of fun activities per chapter? Make one of them a written activity, and the second can be a creative activity. So enter, and let's see what it comes up with. Okay, so now it's coming up with chapter 1, some comprehension questions, some fun activities, some pieces of copywork. And it's incredibly quick in how it does comes up with all of this information. And it seems to have done exactly as I've asked it. Right, so let's go back up to the top and just have a little bit of a better look at what it's come up with. So here we go. Chapter 1, An Unexpected Party, Comprehension Questions. Who's the main character of the story? Why did the dwarves visit Bilbo? Describe Bilbo's reaction when Gandalf marks his door. How does Bilbo feel about adventures? What happens at the end of the chapter? Now we have a little bit of copy work, Charlotte Mason style, just as I've asked. Good morning, says Bilbo, and he meant it. The sun was shining, the grass was very green, but Gandalf looked at him from under his long bushy eyebrows that stuck out further than the brim of his shady hat. So your children can write that in their nicest handwriting and learn from the sentence structure, the vocabulary, etc. Then we have our written activity, a short paragraph describing your ideal birthday party, just like Bilbo's unexpected party, and a creative activity. Just as I've asked it, draw a picture of Gandalf and the dwarves sitting around the table at Bilbo's house, include labels with their names. And then it goes on to chapter 2, roast mutton. Now all these things you can then cut and paste on a Word document and print it out for your child. You can, put spaces in there for them to answer the questions. And how easy is that? Some more written activities. Write a diary entry, Bilbo's perspective, describing his encounter with the patrols. Another creative activity, make a troll mask using paper plates and art supplies. Chapter 3, more comprehension questions, more copy work. And it's done everything I've asked it to do. Written activity, a short poem. And all these things can be appropriate for a range of the ages that I've said, 9 to 12. Obviously a 12-year-old will be able to do a work to their level, and same for a younger child. But these are questions that can be applicable to children of various ages. And that's that 5th chapter. And obviously, as you carry on with the book, you can come back to ChatGPT and ask it to do the same for the following chapters until you finish the book. So the next thing you can do is you can ask it to provide you with answers to the comprehension questions it's generated. And again, this can be a nice time saver. We can't always read every piece of literature that we ask our children to read, especially if we have several children reading different books. There just aren't enough hours in the day. I'd love to spend all day reading books, but I can't. So it can give me an answer key to the comprehension question, so I can check that my child is answering the questions correctly. We can discuss it. If I'm not that familiar with the book they're reading, I can get ChatGPT to give me a summary of each chapter, and then I can be more familiar with the book that my child is reading. So that's a useful little thing you can get it to do. Now we're going to see how it does at making a study plan for, again, studying The Hobbit over a period of 12 weeks. So that would be a term, 2 half terms. So here we go. Enter. Here's the study plan, and it comes up pretty quickly, so you can go back and slow down the video and have a look at what it comes up with. But as you can see, it's remembered the questions I've asked it to generate earlier, the comprehension questions, the copy work and the activities, and it's incorporated that into the study plan along with when to read what chapter over a period of 12 weeks. So how useful is that, and how cool is that? I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it's been useful to you. And if you find more ways, if you come up with more ways to use ChatGPT, please put it in the comments below. I'd love to hear your ideas. I'm sure we can all benefit from learning from each other. I'd appreciate it if you liked this video, please give it a like. Please subscribe, share it with those who you think can benefit, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Thank you for joining me, and don't forget, yes, you can home educate. Bye bye.